call the Finance Committee meeting to order. We're going to forego the call of order. Item B, consent to agenda. We have a motion to approve the agenda from, or the minutes from the last.
So moved.
Second.
Kamari for the motion, second by Mrs. Harrington. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. General business, we have administration update.
Yeah, so we have been looking at this, or I've been told we've been looking at raising our substitute rates since last year. It has not come before the Finance Committee. However, I did do a comparison with the same districts that we've been using when we're looking at anything monetarily. I typically will use the same districts to make sure we have the same subset. Of course, I'm open to using a variety of other school districts. And we are, as you can tell from the chart that I have in the backup, we are well under. And so what we do is, because there's no subpool, because a lot of substitutes can either go to Dover, who will pay a good amount more, or other neighboring towns, it's very, very difficult to really increase our pool of subs. And so what we do then is we use teacher by the minute, and so in order to cover classes. A lot of these teachers, they range from $30 to $57 per hour, depending on what the per diem rate is. It's costing the district, when we do this, and I am grateful for those educators that are really pitching in and helping us out, it does cost the district between $200 and $300 to cover a substitute for the day. And so what I'm proposing is that we raise, and what I've done here is I've just taken, what I normally do is take the average of the low of the other school districts, right, and then the average of the high, and so that gives us then the proposed tiered approach that I'm using for certified teachers, non-certified teachers, and paraeducators. I also want to note that the paraeducator amount, I wanted to make sure that it was equitable in the sense that it was not above what our current paraeducators make hourly. So this rate does not go beyond what our current staff, our full-time staff make. I think this is going to really increase, we don't have a pool right now of subs, but I think this is really going to build our pool of subs. It's going to be fiscally responsible for us to use our everyday subs, and it's also being used as a strategy, hopefully, to recruit staff for Rochester. So if we bring people to the district, if we're bringing more substitutes in the district, we're attracting them because our substitute pay is really more competitive as other districts. I'm hoping that we attract them to work for us full-time. So again, I'm proposing this because we have 0 right now in our sub pool, and I'm looking to build that pool.
Any questions from the committee? Mrs. Harrington, Mr. Kamari?
I just looked back, and it was 2021 was the last time we had increased substitute pay to $95, and then they worked 90 days the previous school year, they made $100 a day. So it was a while ago.
Mr. Kamari?
How do we advertise for subs? To build a list, or how is that advertised?
So I can't speak to what has been done historically. I know that Katie Dorfman and I are talking about all sorts of different ways that we can get the word out into our community. We need to meet people where they're at. We need to recruit. We need to be active and get people into the pool. Let them know what they can make. Let them know how they can contribute. Let them know that this supports our schools. And we'll come up with a strategy and report out on you like that. We're happy to do that.
If I may, just to follow up, I mean, we need a vetted list of people, right? They've got to go through background checks, right? So is it worth having, thinking outside the box, a hiring day of, application day out there, just strictly for substitutes?
Yep.
Because knowing that it's day labor, if you will, or whatnot, the phone's going to ring at 5:45 or 6:45, and hey, we need you today, type of thing. But you still have to be vetted to come into our schools.
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
and is there an opportunity to share substitute lists with other districts? Again, I mean.
thought about that. I think it's worth exploring to see if it is a practice that's being done and what the logistics around that work. We do a Tri-City, do lots of things with the Tri-City. I don't know if we could develop a Tri-City pool. rates, I don't know, we would have to explore that and
Just-
see if it's viable, but yeah.
You know, again, we're building a list that has to be vetted, it's not like go to labor ready, bring somebody in for the day, they need to be vetted individuals.
Mhm.
So if Dover has some, and Rochester has some, and Somersworth has some, and whatever, Oyster River,
We would still.
those people are still vetted,
Mhm.
you know, and I would assume that our vetting process is very similar to Dover's and Somersworth's and whatnot, so.
We would still have to go through the process of fingerprinting.
No, I
Only,
understand,
you know,
right.
but yes,
For our district.
yeah,
For our own district, but again, just to make a bigger pool.
I like it, yeah.
Absolutely.
And I like the job fair also. The job fair would be great. We have this great job fair, if you wanna come and take a look at it and see what we have to offer.
Whether it be, I don't know if I wanted to say this, but the senior center or something like that, to try to get those
Yeah.
people, you know. that-
I think having a, you know, putting posts, I mean, now I'm thinking and talking, which is a dangerous thing to do. But definitely getting the word out there. I mean, we're housed in the community center. We hold lots of events here in the community center. We see parents at football games, at basketball games, we see our community members there. Is there a flyer if you wanna be a sub? Like, this is what you do, and make it real simple, and this is who you contact to schedule an appointment to be onboarded, right? We do the fingerprinting upstairs, so there's no reason why we can't get that type of information out there into our community to try and grow that pool.
Mr. Bellows.
Thank you. Pardon me. This is a problem that every district is having. I think there's very few days that go by in the school I work at that we have all of our classrooms are staffed. So we just don't have people that are out that day. So I appreciate any effort that we're making to try to address it. Raising the pay is the first thing that we've got to do. Ms. Azarloza, I mentioned to you, looking at districts that are closer to us, because those are most likely that, you know, it's great to raise pay, but no one who lives in Rochester is going to drive to Salem for a job as a sub. But they will drive to Dover, and so we have to be competitive with Dover. And if that, you know, and perhaps Somersworth or Oyster River, you know, all the districts that are around us. But, you know, if we can get, I'd be even in favor of going to 115 and 125 for our teacher positions. I wouldn't have thought of making sure that the para sub pay doesn't, you know, exceed what a para makes in a day, because that would be insulting. Anyways, that's all I have to say about that. I definitely would be in favor of increasing it.
One thing I just want to mention to you, as a member of the Rochester Chamber, we could do an e-blast that would go out to all business members and saying, you know, for anyone you know of who would like to be a sub or a referral system or something like that. So we can make a good benefit. So the recommendation by the district is as slated as certified teacher, 125 per day, 135 per day for 10 consecutive days or more. Non-certified teachers are 110 per day, and then 115 per day with 10 consecutive days or more. And paraeducators are the 90, 95, 10 consecutive days. So we, at this point, would be looking for a motion from the committee.
So we'll move that full board.
We have a motion from Mr. Kamiri, second full board, a second by Mr. Crucimonos. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Any other financial updates from the district? When will we be getting the final number on our surplus?
September,
September.
yes.
All right. Moving to public comment. Seeing no one from the public present, we shall close public comment. Anything under other?
I got,
Mr. Crucimonos.
I know, how close are we to having a finance director?
So we have to go back to the drawing board.
Okay, so, anyways, just keep a real tight eye, because we do have plans to use open positions to secure the teachers' jobs that we did not cut last year. Or we are going to have to find another funding source. Or if it's gonna be a problem, come to us way ahead of time, so we know. And we can make other recommendations, or we can find other areas to move on to.
Yeah, just to ease a little bit of that, because I know there's a lot of anxiety around that during our position control project, but we've identified, thanks to Sarah Camus, our Director of Student Services, in order to be in compliance, and I'm just throwing out numbers, I don't remember them exactly, but let's say we had 50 special education paraeducators in the books. once we did the position control, in order to be in compliance, we may have only needed 40. So what we're doing then is we're pocketing those 10 positions, we call them pocket positions, so that if we have a new enrollment coming in that has a one-on-one on their IEPs, we take that position out of the pocket and we use it. So we're not utilizing positions that we don't need right now because we're in compliance.
Okay.
So we're safe there.
Anything else under other? Seeing none, we don't have anything for non-public?
No.
Perfect. Looking for a motion
So
for.
moved.
Second.
We got a Mr. Kamari, motion, Mr. Bellows, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.